What is up, ninjas? Today we're going to talk about exactly how much money it takes to get started on Amazon FBA, and spoiler alert, it's a lot less than you might think. What is up, ninjas? Welcome back to the final episodes in the Airbnb kitchen before I get my new place 2 blocks from the beach. What we're going to be talking about today is how much money do you need to start Amazon FBA, and this is going to be an actual amount, right? A lot of the other people out there, a lot of the other people who are teaching this, right, they're telling you that you can get started with $500 or $1,000. That is not realistically the case if you want to get started correctly and build an actual scalable business without having to penny pinch and cut corners and avoid actual nice product photos and do it the right way. You are not going to be able to launch a product on Amazon FBA and create a sustainable actual business with $100 like some of these other so-called gurus are telling you, or $1,000 like some of these so-called gurus are telling you. We're going to be going through what it actually costs, what you actually need to get started. But before we do that, guys, I just wanted to shout out to my boy Philip, who won our daily $100 giveaway that we are just now starting. Every single day, every single video that we release, we are going to go down and pick out one of your guys' comments, and we are going to make that the winner, and we are going to immediately send you $100. I had to shout out my boy Phil. He actually messaged our page, the official Kevin David Facebook page, and he sent me proof that he is subscribed, that he does have notification bells on. We sent him that $100 directly to his PayPal. So if you guys want to enter, all you have to do is leave a comment, and we are going to pick our favorite comment, shoot a message to the official Kevin David page, and we are going to send you $100. So let's get into this, guys. How much money do you need to actually realistically start Amazon FBA? So with my discounts, guys, I get a lot of discounts from some of the biggest names out there, like Viral Launch, like Amazon, or like Jungle Scout, like all of these different services that you need to start, right? So all of these amounts that we're going to show are going to be our heavily discounted amounts, and we are going to include all of the links that you guys need to actually start using these software at the heavily discounted price, right? So the first thing that we are going to talk about is product research software. So what you actually need to find these products that are going to give you results, right? Find you these products that are the diamonds in the rough, the ones that are going to make you money, the ones that don't have a ton of competition and that do have a lot of profit margin for you to work with, right? So the Viral Launch web app is $20. So if we look right here, we can see that the product discovery with our discount, and I'm not going to show every single one of these guys, but I just wanted to show you a couple of them, right? Our discount brings it all the way down to $16.92 a month, or if you want the sourcing expert, which includes a few more things, $28.58 a month, right? But as cheap as $16.92 a month. And again, if you want the market intelligence, right, this is the Chrome extension that they offer. Instead of their normal, $16.67 a month or $20 a month, we get it for as cheap as $11.67 a month, right? So I just wanted to average that out, show you guys that we really do get these really amazing discounts for the FBA ninjas on all of the products and services that you actually need to be successful on Amazon FBA. Right, so the web app and the Chrome extension cost you $34 total. You'll never find that cheaper anywhere. And these pieces of software, guys, are incredible. I know the founder and owner of Viral Launch. The dude is incredibly smart. Samples, right? So when you are actually going to order your product from your manufacturer in China, to get samples, right, to inspect the initial quality. A lot of people, say that you can skip samples. I never personally skip samples unless it's an unbelievably simple product. But, in 99% of cases, I do get samples. So this means that, let's say that I want to source 500 garlic presses. I would want to get a sample of one of those garlic presses from my manufacturer sent to my house, right? I have one sample sent to me, and I have one sample sent to my product photographer, which we will talk about down here, right, to take pictures of it and get beautiful images of it for me to use on my listing. But for right now, right, I get a sample sent to me, and I want to look at it. I want to look at the packaging. I want to look at everything. I want to make sure that this final sample, this final product, exactly how I will send to Amazon is perfect, right? The packaging looks amazing. The quality looks amazing. If there's any bubble wrap or anything that you need to do to keep your product safe is there and looks great. That your barcode that Amazon actually scans, right? Your FN SKU is there. Everything looks amazing. It's a final version of my product and it looks great. The quality's there. Everything is perfect, right? So I send one sample to me and I send one sample to my product photographer, and that usually costs, anywhere from $75 or $50 to up to $150. I budget $150 here, guys, because I want to be realistic. Again, I could tell you that you could get started on Amazon FBA and become a millionaire with $100, but that's just not realistic. This is a business. It requires investment. It takes money to make money in almost all cases, guys. So like always, I want to be completely transparent. So if you're going to PL or private label your actual products with your own logo, you can get one for as cheap as $5, right? I've gotten a bunch of really awesome logos made on Fiverr.com with $5. So just go to Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com, and look up logo design or graphic artist, and you can get a logo made for literally $5 or $10, and it looks incredible, right? The next thing that we need to talk about is barcodes, and you can get barcodes for as little as $5. And what I mean by barcodes, guys, is you need what is called a UPC, right, or a universal product code, which you basically assign to your product listing when you do create a new product listing on Amazon, and you need that unique code to do that. And so now that it is 2018, right, there's been some rumors that you need what's called a GS1 barcode, which are significantly more expensive than $5. Again, I'm just trying to be fully transparent with you guys, but as of right now, you do not need GS1 barcodes to actually create new product listings. And so until that moment comes where Amazon forces you to use GS1 specific barcodes, which are, some can be as expensive as $700 a year, I'm not going to do that because it's ridiculously cheap. You can just go to eBay and type in UPC codes and you can get them, 10,000 for $4.99. And we see a lot of these sell, right? And so barcodes can be super cheap. You do need them to create new products. So let's get to the expensive stuff, the units. Obviously, I can't tell you how much per unit cost can be because you could sell something like, a fidget spinner that costs 10 cents to make, or you could sell something like a ping pong table that costs $100 to make. So I'm going to just use a kind of average that I've seen for many of my products, which is $3 per unit. And this includes glossy white packaging with your logo printed on the front of your package and a sticker barcode on the back, guys. So this is a fully ready to sell product that you then actually ship to Amazon FBA. I never generally recommend buying less than around 500 units because you need enough units to actually launch successfully. And that means you need to give away units, more units than the people on page one are currently selling, to actually outrank them and get past them and move up on page one to actually kind of start to get that visibility from Amazon buyers and sustain that rank and get those organic sales, which is what the profit from Amazon FBA really comes from, right? So a lot of people will buy 100 units or 200 units. They'll get it to Amazon FBA and they'll realize that the people on page one are selling 10 units a day. And for them to actually get to page one also, they need to sell 11 units a day. And so they're giving away 11 units for, between 3 and 7 days, the amount of time that it takes to get to page one. And then all of a sudden, half their inventory is gone just from giveaways to get to page one. And, by the time that they're getting all of these organic sales, they're already out of stock, right? And so a lot of people and a lot of so-called gurus out there will say, order 100 units, order 200 units, and then you'll do that, and you'll realize that to get any organic sales, you have to launch correctly, and to launch correctly, you have to give away units, and by the time you give away those units, you don't have enough to actually sell and make profit, right? And so the least time that I generally like to recommend, or the least amount of units I recommend buying, is about 500. That gives you enough kind of leeway to do a launch correctly, to get to page one, and then still have enough units to make your money back and then make significant profit on top of that. Adding labels, guys, I just wanted to include this really quickly because a lot of times manufacturers will tell you that it costs 10 cents, 25 cents for them to actually add labels or the little barcode stickers on the back of your box that each product is inside of. And I just want to be really clear, guys. So there's a little box like this. There's a garlic press inside. There's your logo that you had designed printed on the outside of this white glossy box. And on the back of your box, there's a little UPC sticker, which is a barcode that actually you create from your UPC that you bought, from eBay, for example, on this example, right? So they usually will say, okay, well, it costs 10 cents or 25 cents for us to assign these stickers. And you tell them, absolutely not. That should be free. That should be included in it because they literally 99.9% of the time will do that for free. You just have to know that it should be free. So I just wanted to include that just so you guys can kind of see that and not fall victim to paying an extra, cost per unit, because at the end of the day, every cent counts for increasing your profit. Package design. So I included this one because package design actually is pretty important. what I like to do with Amazon FBA, and the reason that I've actually been able to get some success, is that I always go after the premium option, right? You never want to compete on price with people who are already selling in the niche that you want to enter. You always want to be the premium option. You always want to demand a higher price because you have a better package, or because your product has additional items with it that you're bundling, or you're adding value in some way, right? And so something that I like to include is having a nicely designed package. So don't skimp out on that, right? You can have anybody from Fiverr or Upwork or whatever, actually create your package design for you. If you want to spend a little bit more and make a very beautiful packaging, I recommend a company called Outline-Matic. And actually will include a link down below with our Amazon FBA Ninja discount code. Of course, every link in this description, guys, will be a heavily discounted link. I want to save you guys as much money as I possibly can, because I know that getting started on Amazon FBA is hard, right? It costs money, and I want to make the most realistic estimate that I can possibly give you guys, and in doing so, give you all of the discounts that I can possibly offer you guys to get started in the right way, and do this so you can actually create a real income from it and a real career from it, and leave your 9-to-5 grind behind. All right, so the next cost that we want to consider is the inspection cost. And anyone who tells you that you can skip an inspection, slap them directly in their face one time, because inspections are incredibly important and you should never ever ignore inspections. What inspections actually mean is before you ever release the 70% final payment to your manufacturer, your goods need to pass inspection. This means that you need to hire a third-party company that has nothing to do with your manufacturer to come in, take a sampling of all of the units that you had created, and give you a report saying, these products either are very high quality, everything that you wanted is good to go, or they look like complete crap, and you should not pay the 70% deposit until they are fixed, right? So never, ever, ever, ever ignore the inspection. It is so incredibly important. And a lot of people ask me, Kevin, do you continue to get inspections over and over again as you reorder from the same supplier? The answer is absolutely yes. I get an inspection every single time. I can't even tell you how many times we've gotten inspections for companies that we've used for years, and they had a different sales manager come in, or they had their quality assurance team replaced, or he was sick and they had somebody else in, and just all of these situations happen that you are very outside your control. And the only way to catch and make sure that you have the highest quality products so your Amazon customers aren't returning them and you don't have issues down the line is by getting an inspection. So this is the best possible money that you could spend for the entire process of Amazon FBA from start to finish. Never ignore it. You can get an entire man-day of someone's time in China for 99 USD, which is an incredible deal, right? And so the next thing that we have to talk about is shipping. So for $1,500, you can get 500 units at $3 per unit, and shipping is going to vary incredibly based on the product that you buy, right? And so before you actually go to invest, what I suggest is reaching out to your freight forwarder. If you're a part of the Amazon FBA Ninja family, right? If you're part of the Black Belts group, you can use my freight forwarders, and you can just reach out to them with a quick email or a message, right? We have all their Skype information and everything, and say, hey, I'm thinking about ordering 500 bowling balls. How much is it going to cost for me to ship via air and via sea? And they can give you that number, right? It's very difficult to get this number. It's probably the biggest kind of variable that's most difficult to get to come up with the final profitability analysis of investing in a new product, right? Because shipping 500 bowling balls versus shipping 500 feathers, it has a huge difference in actual cost, right? From a weight perspective and from a volume perspective, which are the two metrics that actually determine shipping costs, right? And then the biggest other thing is whether you're shipping it by sea, which takes between 2 and 3 months from start to finish to actually arrive in the Amazon FBA warehouse, but is cheaper, versus shipping by air, which can take anywhere from 3 to 7 or 10 days even, which is obviously much more expensive, but can sometimes be better if you need to get back in stock and things like that. So the next cost that we want to consider is product photography. And guys, I put do not ignore here because it's so incredibly important to not be cheap about your product photography. And we included a link here with Viral Launch's product photography service, which is the best, right? And they gave us an incredible discount, guys. We're saving literally hundreds of dollars with the discount that we're giving you guys for completely for free just for watching this video. And they do very, very good work from a product photography perspective. if you're buying a product that requires lifestyle photos, right? Pictures of the cute little babies or a beautiful woman wearing, a dress or on like a beach towel or something like that, then you'll have to get the more expensive version. But still, they have the best deals I've seen anywhere with this discount. They've given us an incredible discount. Viral Launch, and Casey are good friends of mine, and they do very, very good work. Do not be cheap, guys. If you're listening to anything I'm saying during this entire video, don't be cheap with product photography. It makes or breaks sellers. This can be the difference. One picture can be the difference between being successful on Amazon FBA and leaving your 9-to-5 corporate job behind you forever and living on a beach in Thailand and being in a cubicle for the next 50 years. So don't be cheap when it comes to product photography. I know that sounds extreme, but that's as important as product photography is. I'm just trying to portray it as best I can through this YouTube screen, right? The next cost is the Amazon seller account fee. This is a $39.99 fee. So you pay it once a month. They generally, when you open your Amazon seller account, they'll start charging you from that date. But Amazon, all you have to do is, let's say that I started on January 1st, but my products didn't arrive until, March 1st. And so they charged me twice, but I wasn't actually using it. Submit a chat, right? Open a chat with Amazon seller support and say, hey, can I get a refund for the 2 months that my inventory wasn't actually here? And they'll always refund you. If they say they won't, then just open a new chat window and I guarantee you they'll refund you immediately. It's super quick, super easy, and that's a little ninja tactic for you guys right there. And so that brings our total, guys, to $2,887.99. And if you added this up yourself, you'll say, Kevin, wait, but it's actually $150 higher. Well, the reason for that, guys, is the $150 sample cost. If you know what you're doing, you can get that actually deducted from your first order. So you'll pay the $150 for your handy dandy, sample, garlic press sample to yourself and one to your product photographer, but they will refund you that $150 when you pay your 70% final payment after you've passed your inspection, right? So you can actually get that $150 back when you pay the final 70%. And so that brings us to, about a little bit less than $2,900, guys. And this is a realistic estimate. This is a real estimate. Anyone else who's out there who's telling you, you can get started on Amazon FBA for $300. No, you can't, just to be perfectly frank, right? I don't want to establish unrealistic expectations for you guys. I want you to actually be prepared for what is involved with this business. Is Amazon FBA amazing? Can it change your life? Absolutely. I'm the perfect example of Amazon FBA completely changing someone's life, but can you do it with $100 to start or $1,000 to start? It's possible with $1,000, but it's not possible to do it right? $2,000 is a little closer. Comfortably, if you want to start this business the right way from the start to finish, doing things right, getting beautiful pictures, right, getting your inspection, getting nice packaging, getting, quality units, doing things correctly from a product photography standpoint. This is the amount that you realistically need, guys. And the last thing that I want to include in this specific video is the cost of the mistakes I made. And this is not, I promise you, this is not me saying, go out there and buy the Amazon FBA course. If you like somebody else's course, if you like somebody else's knowledge better, if you think that they're smarter and know what they're talking about more than me, then go ahead and do that. Seriously, I mean it. But I just wanted to highlight the cost of the mistakes I made by trying to stubbornly do this all by myself, rather than finding a mentor and finding somebody who actually has done this, been through these things before, made these mistakes before, and who could have saved me so much more money than their course would have cost. And so I just want to go through a few examples. So I didn't know what I was doing for a freight forwarder. So I went with FBA Forward, I believe, is who it was. And they had terrible customer service, right? They charged me so much more than the exact same service would have charged me, like if I went with a freight forwarder that was based outside the USA. So I've actually gotten quotes later on, after I've been doing this for a few years, with FBA Forward and with some of the USA companies who advertise heavily, and with the freight forwarders that my students and I currently use. And they were literally 5 times more expensive than for the exact same thing using the freight forwarders that my students and I use. So just make sure that you're finding the right freight forwarders, because they can save you so much money, and that extra $5 grand or $2 grand or whatever it is just immediately goes in your pocket as profit, because you're getting the exact same thing. I didn't understand customs right? And so I didn't understand you had to have made in China printed on the box and on your cartons and things like that. And so I had to ship them back, relabel, and put them back to the Chinese port, which cost me an extra $1,000. So that's already, $3,000 that I lost just for being an idiot. I bought too few units. So I only bought 300 units for one of my products. I just didn't realize how many units you actually had to give away to get to page one and get those huge organic sales from having the visibility of being on page one that you wouldn't otherwise have if you weren't giving away those units. So I didn't understand how many units that I needed to get to page one and get those huge amounts of eyes of Amazon customers onto my product that is required to actually become super profitable and not have to, spend endless money on PPC and giveaways and things like that. So I bought too few units, I was stocked out, and I lost a ton of money, and then I had to launch another, launch campaign once I finally stocked back in, and that easily cost me another $2,000 that if I had known what I was doing and how to launch a product correctly and how to actually inventory forecast and how to know exactly how many units to buy in the first place, that I wouldn't have wasted that $2,000. I didn't understand PPC, and I wasted money learning how to do campaigns correctly. So I really didn't understand what I was doing from like a PPC perspective. I was wasting a ton of money on automatic campaigns. I didn't understand, when I was supposed to start manual, how to use broad match versus how to use phrase match, how to use exact match. I didn't understand what the search term report was. I didn't understand how to interpret the search term report. I didn't understand how to scale ad campaigns to become hugely profitable. I didn't understand how to use negative exact match words to, kill off the words that were wasting my budget but weren't getting me the conversions. I didn't understand how to use low bid campaigns. I didn't understand anything about PPC, and I wasted, this is a very conservative estimate of what I wasted on PPC at $3,000. That could easily be $10,000 or $20,000 or even $50,000 over the course of my time with Amazon FBA, just learning how to use PPC correctly. And I teach exactly how to do that in my course, so you can save, that $3,000 to $50,000 that I lost. And any other course, it doesn't have to be mine. Any other course of someone that you trust and someone that you've seen proven with their actual sales on Amazon, proven with their knowledge and things like that, they can save you so much more than their course costs just with Amazon PPC alone, especially if you're going to make this into, a full-time type business, guys. So that's a very conservative $8,000 that I lost. And the cost of a course, right? You have the cheap courses for $497, a lot of which are pretty general and don't include like a lot of the really in-depth PPC knowledge and some of the more advanced topics. You have the courses that are for $997, generally from myself and some of the other guys who kind of been around longer and really go very in-depth and advanced in all of this stuff. And then you have the courses that are like $3,000 to $5,000 just for suckers who they're spending $1 million a year on advertising just to put it in your face so often until you like freak out and pay $5,000 for a course. So that is a very conservative sunk cost, lost cause of $7,000. If I could do it again, and if I found somebody that I liked and respected and who was being transparent and gave me the real numbers and wasn't trying to lie to me just to get money from me, that would have been the most brain dead, most easiest decision of my life to buy a course instead of waste $8,000, which easily could have actually been like $50,000 if I gave realistic PPC numbers, completely just lighting that money on fire versus buying a course and learning it from somebody who's already made all those mistakes, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you understand that I'm really trying to be very honest and very transparent. I don't want to, give out the example and make it seem like anybody in the world can get started on Amazon FBA and there's rainbows and unicorns and everyone's going to be happy and live happily ever after, right? That's just simply not necessarily how business always works. Amazon FBA, it does require money to get started. It does take some initial capital to get started. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure that you actually join the Ninja family. Smash the subscribe button directly in its face. Join the family. Turn on those notification bells, and we will see you on the next one because we're going to continue putting out the absolute best knowledge on Amazon, on Shopify, on Facebook ads, on every single topic that you could possibly imagine on the internet, making money, leaving the 9-to-5 grind behind you forever.